So Sadhguru is traveling across the United States on a motorcycle, of all things, and we see this big guru in all of his robes and his turban and his beard and everything, and he's traveling the United States on a motorcycle, on a Ducati, apparently. And, everybody's so amazed. It's like, oh, Guru, why would you do that? Why are you traveling on a motorcycle? He's like, it's a great method of transportation. But what he's trying to learn about is indigenous peoples and about just getting out on the land again, and especially within this past year that we have been inside, a lot of us. We thought that COVID was meant to send us inside, and it was theoretically and is a great opportunity to turn inside, but we can't forget to get outside. So every single day, in some capacity, connecting with the earth in this remembrance of who and what we actually are. We're not machines that were meant to watch television and be on the computer. We were meant to be embodied and to remember our connection to nature. So today we'll practice with as many of the elements of nature as we can. And what we miss so deeply in the desert now is water, the fluidity of water. So deepen your breath and feel that experience of water if you can. The way the breath flows in and out, the way the inhale connects to and flows into the exhale. And if you can notice and feel a watery quality to your breath. And deepen into that fluidity. And then we'll gently bring hands together over the heart. And we'll sing Om together one time. So Om is the sound and the vibration already happening on the planet. So when we sing Om, we're just connecting to that which already is. The trees are making the sound. The wind is making the sound. Even the rocks are vibrating with the sound of Om. So with hands together at the heart, we'll exhale. Inhale. And gently bow. Releasing the hands, open the eyes. Just come to all fours on your mat. One of the great boons or benefits of practicing this practice is to keep the spine a little bit fluid. So we'll start with a little cat and cow to that end. Today we'll inhale and round the spine. Take your low belly up and in, tuck your chin, even draw the inner thighs isometrically toward one another. And as you exhale, look forward, let the belly hang down, with the sitting bones up, even isometrically press the knees apart. So inhaling round, think about drawing up toward the heavens. So we connect with that part of nature. Exhale, look forward, let the belly hang down toward the earth. So today, and you can continue to go on the rhythm of your own breath. Let's think about connecting with the sky on the inhale, connecting with the earth on the exhale. Remembering to press the knees out a little bit, widen the sitting bones on that exhale. Inhaling, drawing everything in. Think about the low belly coming up and in, tucking the chin. Then exhale, Release, surrender down into the earth beneath you. Press the knees apart. Continuing on the rhythm of your own breath. Getting that full body opening. And then 2 more full breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And in your own time, coming to neutral spine. Then as you're ready, take your hands a little bit wider. Press into the feet, lift the hips for down dog. First down dog of the day. So even on this first one, I get a couple of spinal adjustments. I call those free adjustments. You can shift the hips back and forth as feels good and appropriate in your body. You can tuck the chin, stretch the arms forward, stretch the heart back. Now the same principle follows. As we inhale, we're going to lift the low ribs up toward the sky. As we exhale, think about surrendering down to the earth. We'll do 2 more breaths, just like that. You can make them big, exaggerated breaths if that feels good. In the bottom of your next exhale, we're going to look forward, walk forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Taking the feet about hip width apart, rooting all 4 corners of the feet down into the earth. Let your head hang down. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Walk your fingertips back. Inhale, look forward, lengthen, stretch your chest forward. Exhale, fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And 1 more time, we're going to inhale, lengthen, look forward. Now think about your hips moving forward. Your hips moving back rather than your heart moving forward. And then hands on hips, shoulder blades on back. Let's come to stand. Good, feet hip width apart. And sometimes you can hear my breath. I've got these big exaggerated breaths. Take your hands down to your sides. And we'll practice that, what's called an Ujjayi breath. It's a victorious breath. So turn your palms out. We're standing in Tadasana. This is actually a pose as well. Draw the shoulder blades onto your back, and we'll create a little constriction in the back of the throat that will give the breath some sound, even a taste. You can feel it more. So on the inhale, you do this through your nose. You'll feel an aspirant sound happen. On the exhale, same. So you might even hear me breathing. But more importantly, you want to hear yourself breathing. You want to feel that breath. You want to think about the wind, Vayu, that is part of nature, that is also part of your makeup. Rooting the feet down. Let's inhale that Ujjayi up. Exhale, take hands to heart. Nice, full, forceful breath. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale, let's crescent to the right. Turn your belly and chest up left. Bend your knees a little bit. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, crescent, other side. Turn belly and chest up to the right slightly. This is the first one, so we may not get a whole lot out of it. It's fine. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arms, clasp your hands behind you. So you can stay as you are, but just turn to the side so you can see this a little better. So the elbows bend, chest opens, heart lifts, stretch. So we bring the palms together, then the wrist can be a little softer. See, my knees are still bent, tops of the thighs moving back. Then we'll crescent to the right again, but the arms will pull to the left. Be mindful of your neck, let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder a little bit. Open the left shoulder quite a bit now. Oh. And then inhale, rise back up. We'll crescent to other side. So you kind of want to make believe somebody's pulling your hands to the right as you crescent down to the left. And then open that right shoulder quite a bit. I even feel the stretch deep in my abdomen. Let the left ear fall gently toward the left shoulder. And then we'll inhale and come up. And then we'll exhale and fold. Keep those hands clasped. Stretch the arms overhead, tuck your chin. Now, in some cases, the ribs might connect to the thighs. It's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Stretch your arms up toward the sky, even with hands clasped. Shoulder blades toward waistline, and then stretch the arms overhead a little bit. Just opening that front body. And then go ahead and release your hands. You might feel like your arms have gotten a little longer. They probably have. Inhale, look forward, lengthen your spine, stretch your chest forward. Exhale and fold, step left leg back, long lunge. Good, so fingertips on either side of that front ankle, slide your belly and chest to the left a little bit and soften your heart. Squeeze the top of your left thigh up toward the sky and then sink into your right. So this above, below action. And then inhale, stretch that right arm up, open your chest a little bit. Feel that Ujjayi breath. Exhale, touch down. Let's take the hands inside of that right foot, spin your left heel down. Good. Walk your hands out to the left for side dog. Hands outer shoulder width apart. Sink deep into your right thigh. Make sure the right knee moves over your pinky toe. Connect with your breath. So you're slightly looking forward here, just to keep a nice curve in your neck. Oh. Side dog at the beginning of the show is always interesting. So walk the hands back to center, spin left heel up, take left foot forward, step right foot back. Slide belly and chest to the right a little bit. So we hold into the lunge for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, inhale, stretch that left arm up. Now we can open the belly and chest a little bit too. So we think about the sky to the earth with our breathing. And now we can think about from the top of the head through the heel, the back heel, we want to extend. Exhale, touch down. Spin your right heel down. Walk your hands out to the right for side dog. Deep bend in your left knee. Move that left knee over the pinky toe. Move back into that Ujjayi breath. The inhale that raises the low ribs up toward the sky. The exhale that allows us to surrender back down to the earth. We can get so caught up in our little worlds and our little cares when we forget that we're part of nature. So we use the body to dial back in. All right. Come back to center. Step back, plank position. So hands shoulder width apart, outer shoulder width apart. Turn your elbow creases in. Squeeze the backs of your legs up toward the sky. Melt your heart down toward the earth. Couple of breaths there. You might need that Ujjayi breath right now. Go ahead and take your knees down now. Lower down. So you'll bend your elbows, lower down, come all the way down to the mat. Point your toes back so you stretch your legs one at a time, and then we'll inhale and come up into cobra. So you draw your hands back and the heart forward. You can look over that left shoulder. Look over the right shoulder. Come back to center. Tuck your toes, push back, down dog. Feet hip width apart, knees bent, tailbone up toward the sky. Connect with your breath. Inhale, inflating the back body. Exhale, soften the heart. Now inhale, stretch your right leg up behind you. Point your toes down toward the earth. Extend the arms forward. So think about this right leg now like a tree, right? So we're connecting with the element of wood. So it's straight and strong, and the back of your leg stretches toward the sky. That leg is only hip height. Good. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, other leg up. Squeeze the back of your leg up toward the sky. So we can think of that leg as a straight tree trunk, or sometimes we say a metal poker, like a fire iron. Connect with the element of metal as well. Exhale, left leg down. Look forward, walk forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Woo, let the head hang down, feet hip width apart. Inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Release your hands down. Let's do a tree pose. We'll find just a little balance for now. Bring your feet together. Let them touch. Bring your hands together at your heart just for a moment. So this is a reminder that this is where balance. Sorry about that. All right, so we remind ourselves that balance is in the midline of the body. Root down through your left foot. Inhale, let's take the right foot up to the ankle or the shin or to the inner thigh. Wherever you get to. If balance is interesting today, you can always take your hands onto your hips. Hands at heart is a good option. Or you can play with the idea of extending up. And then when you extend, hug the midline as well. So you can clasp your hands, index fingers stretch up toward the sky. Think about palms coming together. From the core of the pelvis, we root down into the earth. Then we extend up through the top of the head. Exhale, release. Nice. Feet together. So I even look down at my feet and I go, oh, thanks for being there for me, feet. Thanks for rooting down into the earth. And then that remembrance that that space where the feet touch, I can draw a line straight up the center of my body. So I know that that's where I'm holding into in my balance pose. Press into your right foot. And inhale, bring your left foot up. Hands at hips is fine. Hands at heart or extending up. Take your time. Now what often happens is the weight from that left side will push into the right and then the right hip presses out. But instead, we want to hold into the midline, both sides equally. So draw that right hip in toward the midline. And then we can extend more up toward the sky, but keep the shoulders relaxed if you can. That gaze 3.5 feet in front of you is a good option. Exhale, release, come down. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Even looking up toward the sky here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, long lunge. Extend your heart forward. Square your hips. Soften in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, once again, stretch that right arm up. You can walk the left hand out to the left a little bit to open your chest a little more, even lean back into the pose. So we find some opening, some fluidity, some softness. You think about yourself as water. Now take that right forearm onto your right thigh and stretch your left arm straight forward. So here, like the minute I come into this pose, I remind myself, so you want to take the top of your left thigh up, tone your belly so you're not just sort of hanging on your leg there. Good. Then you can spin your back heel down, turn your belly and chest up to the left for side angle pose. You've got another free spinal adjustment there. Exhale, touch down. Spin your left heel up, switch sides, left foot forward, right foot down. So we can take our time, just take a breath right here. As you're ready, inhale, stretch that left arm up. You can walk the right hand out to the right a little bit. Curl the heart open, take your head back. We didn't used to do this. We used to be so rigid in our poses in our practice. So now we afford ourselves a little bit more fluidity, openness, freedom. Rigidity didn't get us very far. Exhale, left forearm, left thigh. Stretch your right arm forward. So that's your cue. Take the top of your right thigh up. Take your low belly up and in. So we create a really strong foundation here. Spin your right heel down. Turn belly and chest open to your right. Side angle pose, Parsvakonasana. Find your breath. Exhale, touch down. Step back plank. Tone your belly, soften your heart. Now this time you can take the knees down or you can lower down in one straight line. Elbows tight, hovering if you can. Inhale, sweep into cobra. Head of the arm bones come back, heart draws forward. So remember, not just up sky and earth, we're going to go east and west as well. Stretching the heart forward. Tuck the toes, press back, down dog. So take a few breaths here in downward facing dog. You can look at your hands. You can shift your hips side to side. You can return to the idea of that Ujjayi breath. Tuck your chin for a moment and let your head hang down. So we come into down dog as a bit of a restorative right now. And then again, we'll inhale, stretch that right leg up behind you. And this time, bend your knee and stack your hip. So maybe try to press the left heel down toward the mat. Open the front body. Keep that left shoulder lifted as high as the right. And then we'll shift forward on your back foot. The shoulders will come a little bit forward. And then step your right foot lightly in between your hands. Take both hands up onto your right thigh. Take your low belly up and in and pause. Now you can keep the back heel up if you've got back issues. Or spin the back heel down and we'll stretch the arms up to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Take your low ribs back. Sink into your right thigh. Deepen into your breath. Soften your shoulders. Exhale, touch down. Your option, move through vinyasa or step right back to down dog. So vinyasa would be plank, chaturanga, cobra, down dog, but you could have gone straight to down dog. That'd be up to you. Inhale, stretch your left leg up behind you. Bend your knee, stack the hip. Keep your right shoulder lifted high. Open the front body to the left side. Stretch your right heel down. See what you got. And then we shift forward on that right foot. Shift the shoulders over the wrist. Step your left foot forward. Both hands up onto your left thigh. This is just a little interim. I'm going to see how I feel today. Do I want to take my back heel down or do I want to leave it up? Then I'll inhale and stretch the arms out. Sitting deep into that left thigh. Connecting with your breath. Soften the shoulders. So the fingertips reach up toward the sky, but the shoulders settle down. Exhale, touch down, step back plank, move through vinyasa, meet in down dog. So we're going to take 3 long, slow, deep breaths here in downward facing dog. If you feel like you need a child's pose, feel free to take child's pose, not a problem. And deepen your breath. Then we're going to come down to the knees. Tuck your toes under, sit back on your heels. This is the uncomfortable Vajrasana, but it's really good to stretch out the soles of your feet. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like from this side. So we tuck the toes under, sit back on the heels, and the soles of the feet kind of go, ah! You can deepen the pose by pulling the flesh off of the sitting bones and bringing the heels closer together if you don't hate this pose enough as it is. All right, then we'll place the fingertips just by the knees. Come up on dome fingers. We'll take a forward bend, so you straighten your knees, come to a forward bend near the back of your mat. Let your head hang down, grab onto your elbows. So you notice, like if you grab onto your elbows, immediately you'll feel like you're sinking down a little bit lower. Kind of like you allow the weight of the upper body to just sink you down and settle you down a little bit. Remember to keep the knees a little bit soft. We'll take hands on hips, shoulder blades on back, come on up to stand. So that little bit of a glow or a glisten or a sweatiness that you're feeling is the fire element. So we get a little fire in our practice when we do some energetic poses. So let's go do some more. Take a wide stance on your mat. All right, so hands on hips, press down and through your feet. So spread your toes. So there is a strength, a powerful, fiery feeling to the practice in a way. We're going to inhale and stretch the arms up. You can even take your gaze up gently. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart. Do one more. Inhale, stretch it all the way up. Let's exhale, take arms shoulder height, palms down. Turn your right toes out. Good, now charge up your triceps, the underneath of your arm. You can do it if you sort of bring your mind into them. Take the top of your left thigh and move it back. Open the low left ribs. We're going to flow back into crescent, just like water flows. So take your left hand down, right palm up, curl back. Keep a deep bend, think earth in your right thigh. We'll come into side angle pose again. Right forearm, right thigh. Stretch the left arm by your left ear. Tone your belly. Look up underneath that left arm, but check in with your neck and soften the shoulders. Then squeeze your right leg straight and come to triangle pose. Now you can have your right hand on your right shin, turn your chest open to the left, or fingertips can come down to the earth if you can keep the chest open. Connecting with your breath again. Now let your right ear gently fall toward your right shoulder a little bit. So we're not craning the neck. And then look back at the wall in front of you, or my beautiful little committee of deities here. And then push into your right foot, inhale, rise up. Turn your right toes in and pause right there. Connect with the breath again. We can still think of this plumb line coming down the center of the body. So we're just moving off of that plumb line. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, arms shoulder height, turn left toes out, bend your left knee. Warrior two. Open the right side ribs. Right hand comes down your right leg, turn the left palm up, curl back, just like you're swimming. Gonna get a little backstroke in there. But we want to just remember that we're apart. As we move through space, even the space in your room is part of nature. Take left forearm, left thigh, stretch your right arm by your right ear, turn your belly and chest up to the right. Soften that left shoulder a little bit. And then check in with your left hand. Sometimes we can be super rigid and resistant. And so if you take the index finger and thumb together, let the other three fingers sort of open softly. Make sure that left knee is moving over your pinky toe. And then squeeze left leg straight for Trikonasana triangle. So if you come slowly, gently, fluidly into the poses, you're more likely to be mindful and honor your body. If the hand is on the shin so the chest can be open, that's great. You can use a block if you have one. Then take your head back and open your throat. Press the inner edge of your right foot down. Don't forget that back part of your body. Good. Push into that left foot. Inhale, come on up. Let's step the feet together for a moment. Shake your legs out a little bit. I like to sort of confuse the muscles a little bit. You can shake the whole body out. As we do, we can get super rigid in the poses. There would be no practice about nature if we didn't honor at least some of the phases of the moon. So we're going to do a half moon pose. So go ahead and take your wide stance. If you have a block at the ready, great. Sometimes you can put a book over there, or we'll talk about props at length another time. So nice big wide stance. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, arms shoulder height. Turn right toes out, bend your right knee. Good. So we're just going to start here in side angle pose. So right forearm, right thigh, stretch your left arm by your left ear. So we usually do this modified side angle pose, which is great, but then when we've got to move into half moon, it seems like the floor is really far away. So just give yourself that it might feel far away. Take your left hand to your left hip. Look down at your right foot. Take your right hand just outside of your right foot. See, that's the part where the floor might feel far away. If you bend your right knee deeper, it'll be a little more accessible. Step your left foot halfway in, move your right hand forward and to the right, step into your right leg, float your left leg up behind you. So that's air element, right? We're floating through space. Now, even though that leg is floating, we want to remember the idea of that back leg, left leg, being like a tree trunk, super strong and straight. Push out through your heel. Now maybe begin to turn your belly and chest up to the left. Finally, if you'd like to take that left arm up, great. If not, great. Looking down at the floor will afford you the best opportunity for balance. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. To come out, bend your right knee slowly, left hand, left hip. Float down again through space. Push into your right foot, come on up. No flopping out of that pose is allowed. Turn your right foot in. Reset your feet. You want your feet even. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Relax your shoulders. Wiggle your rib cage a little bit. Exhale, arms shoulder height. Turn left toes out, bend your left knee. With an exhale, left forearm, left thigh, right arm spins over the right ear. So we just start out in this really nice expression of side angle pose. And take right hand to your right hip. Look down at your left foot. It seems like a long way to go. Left hand outside of your left foot. Like I said, the deeper you bend that front thigh, the more accessible that is. Step your right foot halfway in. With your left hand forward and to the left. So you've got a little tripod balance over there. Float the right leg up behind. Now again, even though that leg is floating, it's got to be super strong. Push out through your right heel, and then you can begin to spin your rib cage up to the right. You've got a good foundation, maybe stretch that right arm up. It's not necessary. That's what I call the Tada arm. Tada, I did it. Not necessary though. Looking down at the earth will afford you the most balance. If you want to start to shift your gaze, you can, but now it's going to up the ante for you a little. Right hand, right hip. Bend your left knee softly, slowly. Push into that left foot. Inhale, rise up. Step your feet together. All the way together. Bring your hands together and close your eyes for a moment. Connect with your breath. So you can feel the heartbeat a bit. You can maybe feel a little glow of water on your skin. We've created some heat, some tapas, some fire within the body. It's good. We burn off some stuff we've accumulated throughout the week when we set a little fire in the body. Go ahead and release your hands, open your eyes. Just going to do one more pose. So the beautiful part of yoga philosophy, one of the things I really love about it is that the male and female aspects are equally important. So we're going to go just a little wider than hip width apart, not a full wide stance, just a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're going to turn the toes out to about a 45 degree. Because what would nature be without the aspect of the goddess? Take your hands onto your hips, bend your knees, and we'll come into goddess pose. So the arms come into cactus. And I get to look outside when I work with you guys on my patio, and there's a beautiful form of the goddess right out there for me to look at. Move your sitting bones back, lift your chest. You can even lift the eyes and stick your tongue out to honor the goddess Kali. Push into your feet. Come on. Bring the feet together. Shake your legs out a little bit. Job well done. Come on down and have a seat. So we first come down and sit. We come into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Pull the inner edges of your feet apart. Pull the flesh off of your sitting bones. And just give yourself a moment right there for the energy to begin to settle down. Even though when we come into standing poses, we're settling the energy down, at the same time, we're standing. So the energy can begin to move up in what we call the Vata direction. So when we come to sit, we want to really begin to settle everything down. Remember, we're working toward Shavasana. We're working toward a quiet space in the body. So now if the knees are somewhat level with the hips, you can come to fold forward, just a gentle forward fold. If the knees are still kind of working their way down, you can stay upright. So just by sitting, you're already in a forward fold. So if we fold forward here, we're actually in a double fold. If your body doesn't need that to open, no need to do it. Check in with your neck again. I know I get a lot of tension in my neck when I'm in the practice. You come on up. Stretch your left leg straight out in front of you. So the right foot comes to the inner left thigh. You can pull the flesh off the sitting bones again. Take your left hand outside of your left hip. Inhale, stretch the right arm up. Direct your belly and chest over that left leg. So the right hand can land somewhere on your left leg. Let's stay upright for the moment. Work the back of your leg down to the earth so that we can just start to move the rib cage. And then as you're ready, you can come to fold forward. And we don't want to grab the foot and pull so that we're rounding the spine. We want to keep a length in the spine. So if the hand does come toward the foot, it's just because the spine is long and we're just allowing that to slide forward. When I come about halfway down, I'll make an extra effort now to inhale and reset, rotate the rib cage to the left, and then fold a little deeper. And then if I want to fasten the hands around the foot, I can. Solely because I know that I've moved it from the inner body. Connect with your breath. Still with the reminder that, oh yeah, I want to keep the rib cage opening to the left. I want to keep the back of the leg rooting down and toward the earth. And we'll come on up with an inhale. Let's invite a twist in the opposite direction. Take your right foot over your left knee. Hug your knee into your chest to lengthen your spine. So we're thinking this below, above again, right? Now we root down through the sitting bones, extend through the top of the head. Take your right hand back, pause. Lean back slightly to kind of get your belly and chest out of your way, and then rotate the low left ribs to the right. So we just kind of, sometimes we look at this as a super simple pose, and we go, oh, I'm just gonna twist. But if we do it systematically, things don't often happen very quickly in nature. If we go slow and we don't make it about like craning the neck over the shoulder, we move from the inner body. Remind yourself to take the inner left thigh down in toward the mat. So we move what we call organically. Exhale, come back to center. We'll switch sides. Stretch that right leg forward, bring the left leg back, pause. Pull the flesh off of the sitting bones again. Right hand to the outer right hip. Inhale, left arm up. Slide the belly and chest to the right. Take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. So even that for me was a reminder right now to take the inner thigh down in toward the mat, turn straight up toward the sky. I'm going to think length as I opt to come down slowly. Now I'll say that this is my more interesting side. So I've got to work even more carefully, even more slowly and diligently, because this side doesn't like to cooperate as much as the other. So I inhale, same thing, I came halfway, now I'm going to slide the rib cage over to the right again. And this side just needs a little extra TLC, a little extra time. We tend to do the opposite. Like the side that's most challenging for us, we like to get out of there quickly. Like, this is not fun, I'm just going to do less here, but we probably need more work on that side. We like to change the mindset from good side, bad side, and just go, oh, I just have a right and a left, and they behave differently. If it should happen that your hands can come down to the foot with a long spine, great. If not, that's fine too. Reminder to keep the shoulder blades moving onto the back. Keep the spine long. Keep the back of your leg pressing down into the mat. To stay connected in with your breath. Then we'll inhale, come on up. Take left over right knee. Hug that left knee into your chest a bit. So we're going to hug in to lengthen. Then take that left hand behind you and lean back slightly so that you have room to rotate your rib cage back to the left. So just like we forget that we're part of nature, that right leg might forget to press down into the mat, toes up toward the sky. So it's okay, we just get these little reminders along the way. So we're gently, slowly, organically moving into the twist. So we keep the hips stable, right? This is a twist in the upper torso. We keep the hips stable. And twist the torso. And then we'll exhale and slowly unravel that twist. Lovely. Stretch your legs straight out. Pull the flesh off of your sitting bones. Take your hands together at your heart. And we'll do that fun action of lowering down slowly. So, feet together, legs are strong. I've got to shimmy sometimes because my mat comes with me. But we lower down as slowly as we can. So the abs get engaged. It's a practice over time. It'll get easier. Oh, once you get there, stretch the arms overhead and point your toes. So we take a full body stretch. You might even think, what direction is my room oriented in? Am I stretching north, south, east, west? As many ways and times as we can to connect ourselves with nature around us. And then for a moment, take the arms to the sides, palms down. Just feeling the earth beneath you. And then see how much of your back body you can sink into the earth beneath you. And then when you're ready for Shavasana, turn the palms up. Connect once again with your breath. And gently, move into Shavasana. Allowing each breath to be a reminder of how we connect to the planet. For Shavasana today, you can even visualize some beautiful surroundings that you might like to be in. deepen your breath. Begin to move your awareness back into the body again. Just listening for a moment to the birds that you can hear in the background, whether they be in your space or the music that we've got on. Such a beautiful reminder of outside, inside. As you bring your body back to the moment, back to the room, stretching in any way that feels comfortable for you, keep that sense of your connection to nature within you. Gently roll to your right side, knees bent. Stay there for a moment. That's the moment you decide, okay, what of this practice will I bring out with me today? And the reminder that when we separate from nature is when we separate from ourselves. Gently press up to seated, eyes closed, hands together over the heart in Anjali Mudra. So when we go out, when we experience nature, even in our minds, even in our hearts, not only does nature give back to us, we're giving back to it. We are lending our own energy back to the earth. It's a symbiotic relationship. So to the heart of you that is one with all that is, gently bow. From my heart, I thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
I hope you have a super fantastic day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome.